Man,
Uh,
Tommy, thank you so much for doing this. It's so cool. And
Lee,
we're
I'm so honored, honestly. What you're doing with your platform is so moving to watch. I just feel like the energy that you're putting out there, I think you're setting an incredible example for the LGBTQ plus community.
it's a mouthful. Let's
I
be
know.
I didn't think how that came out, did I? Okay,
But
yeah, okay, yes. It's a lot
but
of
you're
letters.
setting an incredible example. So I'm honored to be here talking with you, honestly. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm so excited because we're big BB
I
23 is
know.
going on. It's so exciting.
It's so good already. I'm obsessed. I love it. It's my favorite show.
Yeah.
That and The Circle, but
Well, they're
Big
two
Brother
different
too.
shows. I sent in an audition for Big Brother a few years ago, and because I love it so much, I'm obsessed with. My mother started watching it early, and I can't remember, and then I went back and caught all the old episodes. But yeah, I'm obsessed. I have to
It's
do
so
it.
good.
It's
It's
so
so
good.
so good. There's so many, it's one of those shows that people are either, if you know about it, you're obsessed with it.
Yeah,
And there's no like half-assing. Can I curse? Is that right?
yeah,
There's
of
no
course.
half-assing with that show. You're either all in or you're just not into it. That's it. But
Exactly.
it's a
Yeah.
big commitment.
I'm all in. I'm all in, and I love Frenchie. Okay, let's talk about the cast. We'll just dive right in and talk about who we
Do it.
like. And
I love it.
I think Frenchie was cool. I love doing the armchair quarterbacking, which I know was what done to me, done to you, anybody, but that's part of the thing.
Yeah.
I think he went too fast telling everybody all the girls are safe, because he didn't know what was coming, So
Right.
that was a mistake, I think, but I still like him a
I
lot.
know. Can I do spoilers on here or no?
Oh, why
Spoilers
not?
on
Yeah, it's going to be about 2 weeks before this gets out.
Oh,
So
great. So it looks like, Travis was his replacement nominee. Do you follow the feeds and stuff too, or no?
I didn't, I haven't had time. How do you have time?
Sorry.
How do you have time to do that?
I know my
I used to have, yeah, I used to do
my,
it.
my boyfriend, it's our first year together that Big Brother is on
Yeah.
because we met at the end of the summer last year.
Yeah.
So he is just like, it's like a big shock for him to
Yeah.
see what goes on during the summer. I warned him, I said, just warning you, you haven't seen me
Yeah.
when Big Brother's on. I am very different. It's going to be a lot. I'm just warning you. I'm up until 5 in the morning checking the Twitter updates. It's a full-time job. I don't know. So,
Well,
so
in
I know everything that's going on. I do, but
in
I love it.
in previous incarnations before the circle and how busy I am, yeah, I did the middle of the night. I was cussing because it's like, you're not giving me the camera shot I want. Why are you in this room? I want to be over in this room. I
I
was
know.
doing all that
Oh
craziness.
yeah, I know. The,
You
the
know,
fact that they only have 4 cameras going
yeah.
at 2 different rooms at once, it's so frustrating. I'm like, what is that one doing right now? Where are the others?
And then in previous seasons, I think on your season, they did the fish tank or something. They'd go to something, either the pets or the
Yes,
fish, and that would drive me crazy. I'm going, they're not doing anything we can't see.
I know. It's so crazy.
It's obsession, but I love it.
Yeah,
It's a good
because I
obsession.
don't know if this is true, but I think that the people in charge of the feeds, what goes out, I think that they have like a 2 minute delay that they can cut the feeds if they feel like they need to, which people always found interesting what they choose to cut and what they choose not to.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it, I think, I'm not positive, but I think that a little more strategy goes into that than we give them credit for.
Sure. Sure. So do the spoilers. I interrupted you. Let's do
No.
spoilers. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, uh, what's his name? Frenchie walked in and he said, I want to get a meathead out, is what he said.
Yes.
And it looks like a meathead may be going home.
Okay.
So
Okay.
ultimately, even though his week was a tangled web,
Yeah.
I think that ultimately his original goal is going to be accomplished. So I think we'll see how good he really is, how good he set himself up in the future weeks as the future weeks play out.
Yeah.
I think that it'll take a bit to see if he really is good or not.
Yeah.
Um,
I like the diversity of this cast.
love it, love
I
it, love it, love it.
yeah.
I think it's so awesome that we don't, for a while we felt like there were certain archetypes. It felt like they found what works for the ratings, for the audience, for whatever. They found what worked for them, and they stuck with it to the point that it was monotonous, and we knew what was coming almost.
Right.
There's always the one crazy gay guy, the two people of color, the one older person, the few jocks, the few hot girls. Like it was literally a recipe to an
Yeah.
extent.
Yeah.
But this year we don't have that, which is really, really nice. We have all different types of people, all different archetypes. They're bending the rules that they had in the past, which I think is just mixing up the game. And ultimately, Big Brother is a show. It's a study of these people. It's a psychological experiment, a social experiment. And if you just keep putting the same ingredients in the pot, you're going to get the same result for the experiment. So it's
Right.
nice they're mixing it up now. I really like that.
I really do too. I love that, like you said, it was always like, okay, here's the LGTP.
Yep.
See, now I'm now my yes, our community is being represented.
Yes.
Usually it was just one person on any reality show, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, Big
Mhm.
Brother was probably one of the first to have that. But now, we've got Derek and the two girls, and I mean, and I want to see more transgender people in reality, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah, I would love that. I would
I
love that.
but I mean, I want to see some transgender men and women on reality TV.
Yeah, we want them to be a part of the social experiment that is Big Brother as well. I completely agree. I know that they had a hard time with Audrey in
Yeah,
season 18.
I
I
remember.
think this is all rumors actually, but I think that they had a hard time with her, and that maybe tainted their experience.
Yeah.
And I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know anything,
Speculating,
but
speculating. Yeah,
speculating that I
yeah,
think that's why they didn't do it again for a bit afterwards. Hopefully now with the new casting, the new rebranding,
yeah,
hopefully now they'll change that and bring
yeah.
somebody from that community in the game
I,
soon.
I think it's important. I really do. I think,
Yeah.
that's the one thing. Let's talk about Pride for a minute. I mean, I've seen some of your pictures, which is cool.
Thanks.
And tell me about your boyfriend. I mean, you guys look so cute.
Thanks. He's the
How'd you
best.
guys meet?
We met on Hinge, just the dating app. I mean,
Yeah.
I had a hard time with dating. I have so many thoughts, like as far as, oh my gosh, I'm burping. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Okay,
we're
so
real. We're real. I won't put it in.
yeah, I don't care. You could put it in. It doesn't
Okay. Okay.
unfiltered. But so I have so many like thoughts about dating in 2021, what it means for gay, straight couples, whatever you are. I- We have with social media, we have everything at our fingertips, and with social media and just the internet, with the way things are today, we have everything at our fingertips. So whereas back in the day, if you met somebody at a bar, it you didn't know where it was going to go. It could lead to marriage. Yes, that's true in 2021, but I have so many girlfriends that are like, if you meet a guy at a bar, you're not going to get married. It's going to be a one-time thing. It's going to be a little fling. It's just not going to happen that way.
Yeah.
So where do you go? And I don't know what the result is. I feel like there's so many things it could be. I think it's such an interesting topic, but I have so many friends that are just like, I can't meet anybody because of the culture of online, just it yeah, it's just difficult. So I feel like online dating, these dating apps, I think that that's the way to meet people now, honestly. Then that's where you go to find someone who's serious about looking for a partner. Where else do you go to find that? It seems that everybody else is just looking for that instant gratification. So tangent, sorry, I do them often.
I
But
love tangents. I'm a tangent
uh,
person too. So, Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
agree with you. I think Stephen and I met at a bar, but
love that.
I was actually dating his friend who said, "Come meet my friend," and I walked in the bar and I went, "Oh my, who are you? This is the guy." And
Wow.
but it's kind of a. I think in the old days it was more of a slow burn because now even on a dating app you can look somebody up and get all their are they crazy? I'm
Yeah,
which I think dating apps though are where the serious people are saying, "Hey, I want something real." And
right,
a hookup's easy. I mean, that's easy.
right.
Please, that's
It's
easy.
I know it is. It really is. That's the truth. And I have so many girlfriends that are just like, I don't know where to go to meet a guy. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, but I really think that the dating apps work. I really do. I think that that's where you go in 2021 to find the people that are serious about finding a partner, settling down. What you could see if you're on the same page, but that's where you go to discuss your potential that you
Yeah.
two may have.
So
So I met him on a dating app.
okay, and how does that work? Because I'm not familiar with it. I've been with Steven for a long time. So you kind of communicate and you kind of build and build before you do in real life, or how does it work?
Yeah. We started talking in August. Well, actually, funny story. Okay, God, I tangents. I'm sorry, but
I
I got
love it. Do it. Be you.
so I'm a big believer in like the universe, like what's meant to be will happen. And Joey is 28 years old. I'm 30 years old, and we matched on Hinge in June, but we talked a little bit, but we didn't really get into it. It just whatever reason it didn't happen. We just didn't get into it. Turns out I didn't know this at the time. He was not out to his family yet.
Oh,
So, but that would have been a deal breaker for me. Honestly,
gotcha.
I've been out for 12 years. Mostly because I couldn't date somebody who wasn't out yet because I would never want to be the reason that they did decide to come out. I feel like that
Okay.
pressure, I don't want to take on that pressure. Um, so it would have been a deal breaker for me had I known that in June. However, we kind of stopped speaking on the app. And then he comes out to his family. I don't know about this. I didn't even know that he was what his situation was. And then I wind up messaging him at the end of August, um, after he had come out to his family. So, and then we wound up, we hit it off right away. It was kind of first date. We just knew that we fit like a puzzle piece. He's amazing. He's
That's
so good. He's
awesome.
perfect. But it wouldn't have worked out if we had started actually getting into it when we first matched in June. It just wouldn't have happened then. So it's just a little weird, how that happened.
It's kind
And
of proving your point about things happen for a reason. They
it feels
just
that
kind of
way.
do. Yeah.
It does. And here's another really quick, weird thing. His best friend saw me in Newsies in 2012 on Broadway, and she followed the entire cast on social media. When he came out to her like a year and a half back, she actually would send him my stuff and be like, you need to be with this guy. And I didn't
Wow.
know this. And I was the person that reached out to him. It didn't come from him reaching out to me, but she literally said, like a year and a half ago, you would be a perfect couple. Like I just see this. And now it happened. It's so crazy.
A little psychic there or something. That's
Something.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
we're very happy. We like you want to make a difference with our platform. So we during Pride we went live and we just told our stories about coming out and because we both have very different journeys, even though we both come from Italian Catholic family, we have very different journeys as far as coming out being gay are. So we wanted to share our journeys of our individual journeys, our stories, and then our story of how we came together. So we did that. We were hoping to make a difference sharing those stories. And then I see that you do the same thing. Like you put so much good into the world, you and Steven.
Oh, thank you.
I just admire it so much. I think it's so great because while Pride is oh my gosh, I'm not shutting up. I'm so sorry, but I'll
I
stop. I'm
love it.
almost done.
No,
Okay,
keep going.
so
Keep going.
so while I do love that Pride is filled with rainbows, butterflies, sparkles, fun dancing, that's incredible. I want to get to, there's another side to it, what it's, in my opinion, really about. And that's how far that we've come, how far we have to go still. And I think that while the showiness of it is so amazing, I think that there's more to it that we need to focus on also. And that was what was important to me during Pride this year. So I, yeah, that's my little thoughts on Pride and stuff.
I love
I
your
see
thoughts.
you do the same thing.
Yeah, my thoughts on Pride are very similar. I think the fun is important
Yes,
because
absolutely.
because I'm telling you, when you're 20 years old, you know, the serious part, you want to get a little smattering of that, but you're
Yeah,
really out there to have a good time and
yeah,
look around and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm not alone. This is my family." And that's
yeah,
important. That's important too. The beads
absolutely.
and the
Yes.
little boys in shorts and all that stuff, that's all fun and wonderful. But
Yep.
I agree with you. I think it's a multi-tiered thing, and we as a community have to figure out. I was talking to Christopher Rice, Anne Rice's son, who's author, and we were talking about this, and he's a little older. Well, he's 42, I think. And we were talking about, we need to, as a community, decide how Pride, COVID helped us stop. We all stopped. The Pride Parade stopped. Now is a
Yep.
great time for us all to come together and say, what do we want out of Pride? What can we make? And it needs to be our community. Outsiders, I mean, I love you, but you don't get to decide what we do. We decide,
Yeah.
and bring all of our, everybody together, you know, questioning, all the queer people come together and let's talk about it, and let's figure out how can we move the world in a better place.
Yes.
I agree with you, we've come a long way, but
Yeah.
man, we've got a long way. Okay, perfect example. I'm sure you get young LGBTQ kids DMing you about their struggles all
Yeah.
around the world. I know you are. How
Yeah.
is that? How do you, what do you do with that? How do you deal with it?
Well, I always make sure to preface it with saying I'm not a professional, so
Right.
please take this with a grain of salt. Like, I don't know, we don't know the right thing to say, but I can be someone to listen, that will listen to you. I can be a friend. I can be a family member. I can be that. Um, but sometimes it's the struggles, that the individual struggles that kids are having all over the country, because I'm lucky enough that I live in New York City. You live in Dallas, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Or big cities.
Right.
It's not the same in the
No.
middle of the country or in other parts of the world. People are still being killed. We've
Exactly.
seen it this year. It's
Yeah.
it's not it's we do have a long way to go. But the individual struggles that kids are having, I really just listen, and you have to go case by case, kind of like, what do you say? It's so tough sometimes. My, oh, sorry. My, I had one girl reach out to me that she is in a Catholic school, and she's fighting to bring her girlfriend to prom. And I'm like, I don't know what to say to that. She's like, what do I say um, to my, to the staff of the school, to my,
Right.
whatever, the teachers and stuff? What do I say to them? I said, I don't know, but I think that you're extremely well spoken. I think you have to try your best to speak your mind, and you have to at least try. You have to say that you tried. Um, because even if it ends in a failure, getting confronted with these issues will eventually, if they keep getting it, these teachers, these faculty, these people in charge, then eventually they're going to have to listen. So even if they don't listen right now, know that you're a part of the journey, the war on trying to move mountains, if that makes sense.
Makes complete
So
sense.
I
Beautiful.
think that it's important to at least try to be well spoken, to try and just represent the community in a very positive way. But if you just go into it, we can't go into it with anger. We have to go into it with intelligence and education. Education, that's something that I feel very important, is very important. We can't fight hate with more hate. We have to fight it with education. So that's something that I tell the people that reach out to me. We, to judge people who are judging us, it makes sense that sometimes what feels natural, it feels right. But if we can counter that judgment with education and love, I think that we can make a bigger difference. I think that's the way to go.
I agree.
And it's not always easy. And again,
No,
take that with a grain of salt because everyone has different opinions. I respect everyone's opinions, but that's something that I feel very strongly about because my parents had a hard time when I came out, and I could have easily said to them, "Well, you don't want like you're judging me, then I'm out. That's it. Then you don't get me." But we didn't. We worked past it, and if I would have fought with hate the way that hate is a very extreme word. They were kind, but they didn't understand. But if I would have fought back with hate as I maybe wanted to, we may not be where we are today. And so I think that, oh my gosh, we're getting so deep.
I
And
know.
I love it.
I do
But,
too.
but I think that it's very important to fight hate with education and love is the bottom line.
I think so well said. I agree with you completely. And I think, we're talking about coming out, like your partner, Joey, he came out later, 10 years
Yeah.
later than you did, right?
Yep.
10. So,
Yeah.
or 9, whatever. I think
Yep.
that's a personal choice too for people.
Yep.
But I do encourage people first be safe, make sure,
Yeah.
because especially if you're 12, 13 years old, don't have control of where you live and you suspect your parents could kick you out. There are parents that will do that, which shocks me.
Yep.
Be safe first and then be brave is what I say. Cause I think find people, cause there's people out there that can help you. And
Yeah.
we got to link arms with allies and everybody. So yeah, very well said, Tommy. I loved it. I'm ready to go to Pride with you. To be honest, it was
I
really good.
I would love that, Lee. I would love that so much. Oh
I
my gosh.
I came very close to going to New York Pride, and then I just didn't. So much is going on with the show. Let's talk about the shows. We're going to get off the deep
Yeah, yeah,
end, and
yeah,
we're
yeah.
going into the light end now. So I think our two shows. I wanted to do a little comparison.
I love it.
I think Big Brother for me would be so hard. I want to do it so bad. I know it probably never happened, but I may just send in and make them deal with my application. But 16
Should.
people all together, one toilet, two showers. I'm like, it's like the opposite of The Circle because you're by yourself the whole time. You're just looking
Right.
at a screen. So it's Nicole's over there with Cliff talking, and you're like, something's going on over there. You see all that
100%.
stuff.
Yeah. I completely agree. It's so funny because I love both of the shows and I've done comparisons in my head too. Or I've done comparisons as well. And I'm like, what they're very similar, but they're also extremely different.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, like on the surface, you think that they're similar. One person gets evicted from the circle, from the house a week or whatever it is. But it's very different. It is.
Yeah, because
I,
you get no body language, facial expressions. You get
yeah,
none of that. It's a still photo, and then but I think the cool thing about The Circle is, although it's not really current social media, because one of the things I wish we could have done is when you're in a group chat, if I could have done a side chat with Courtney like you could do in real life,
right,
and
right.
you can't do that. You're all here, and it's very static.
That's it. Right.
But yeah, I like the idea of Big Brother because you're never off, are you?
Never. Never. It's so funny. It takes a toll on you psychologically. When I came out of the house, my family was shocked at how I was behaving. I was different. I had a hard time being in big groups. I would just get very anxious, and that's not me at all. I don't get anxious.
Yeah.
I feel very comfortable in my skin. So like to come out of this experiment and then come to my family who is my home, they're my everything, and to not feel myself around them was very just weird. It was very difficult to deal with. It went away after like 2 months, but there were
And a
like
cocktail or two, maybe.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's funny, they always reference that, like now they make fun of me. My family loves to abuse me. That's what they do. We all crack jokes, we all tease each other nonstop, but they're like, When Thomas was weird when he got out of the Big Brother house. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that. Like that's the time of life.
His little moment of decompressing from the show.
Yeah.
On the show, what would you? Okay, you went far, you did well. I know you've been asked this question millions of times, but you kind of always voted with the majority.
Yep.
As I remember.
Yep.
I remember because I truly was a fan of yours, and I kept thinking, God, I wish he could get with Nicole and Cliff, kind of the underdog thing. But do you wish you could have done something different? I know it's hard. People don't realize all the things that are going on all the time.
Yeah, everybody's perspective is different, but I'll say from my perspective, I was trying to get with Nicole and Cliff for like it was when Nick, it was during Taco Tuesday. That's when I saw Nick, Sis, and Jess were still in the house. But it was the three couples, me and Christy, Jackson and Holly, and Nicole and Cliff. And then we also had Jess, Nick, Sis in the house. So there was 9 of us left. And at that point, I said, I see what's happening. The couples are going to go after each other. And I see Jackson and Holly are trying to pin us against each other, Nicole and Cliff. I don't want that. I really don't want that. I want to work with you guys. We couldn't get them on board. I couldn't get them on board.
Get them. Wow.
Christy was really, tough to a lot of people in the house. She was my ride or die. I think that she scared Nicole. So I think that we just couldn't get on the same page.
Yeah.
But I saw what was going to happen, and I was trying for weeks prior.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out, and that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. That's the game. I think that Cliff and Jackson had this really deep connection in the house, and it was very difficult to break that. He even thought that he would take him over Holly.
Yeah.
And they just had something. So I think I couldn't break in. I really did try, but I couldn't break in. But it's funny because Nicole and I were super, super, super close once Nick left, because we both loved Nick and he was like one of our ride or dies.
Yeah.
So then once he left, we kind of linked up. And so when Christy did leave, then it was the 5 of us left in the house, and Nicole was on my side trying, but we couldn't get Cliff.
Couldn't get him. Golly, I love it. I love it. Yeah. I know it's been a while, and I'm glad you could do it. I mean, really, that was my Trevor and Chloe. I wanted to get Trevor out so bad, and I could not get him out. Okay, give me. I mean, you're more seasoned than me. What should I have done differently?
Honestly, I think you did a great job. I really did. The fact that you were a catfish and you made it that far and people didn't suspect you, I think you did an incredible, incredible job. I mean, like, what are your thoughts are as far as, I always wondered, and I don't know what the answer is. You and Courtney were each other's ride or die.
Right.
What if at the end, would you have ever been able to put him in last place in the ratings? Like, he's your person.
It's so funny because they didn't, of course, they only show a little bit of it, but I was I was talking through every scenario, and I was so tired by that point mentally because we'd been playing. I mean, it's not near as long as Big Brother, so
but it's a lot in a little time. Yeah, so you're exhausted.
It's very compressed. So I was going through every scenario. Oh, if I cut him, this is going to happen. If I do this, like I thought about when I was super secret influencer, getting rid of Trevor. But I knew if I did that, Chloe would know it was either me or Courtney would know it. And then she would tank us. And I knew Mitchell wasn't going to vote for me. So I was doing all these scenarios. And finally, and I really did suspect that Courtney was going to vote to win. I figured he would tank me. I was surprised about John tanking me, but I knew he was playing so strategically. So then I finally said, you know what? I'm going to vote my heart. And so that's what I did. I gave Courtney 1, I gave Chloe 2, Trevor came in 3, and John was 4, So I don't know if they showed all that, but It felt right to me at the time. And I know I've gotten so much grief from hardcore reality TV people that have DM'd me saying, you were so dumb. I'm going, well, you're in there, you're
Oh,
doing the best you can.
I don't think that you were dumb. I think that you like it's so tough with the circle. Like you don't know what the rate like how do you strategically plan out how the ratings are going to go? You never know where other people's heads are at and you
Right.
never know what they do. Like in Big Brother, you can kind of figure out where the votes went.
Yeah.
Even if there's one rogue vote, it's one rogue vote that you have to figure out. For the circle, you have no idea where anybody voted,
Yeah.
essentially voted,
Yeah. Yeah.
rated.
I know what you mean.
So
Like
it's,
in,
it's
in
really
Big
tough.
Brother on the rogue vote, this is me because I always imagine myself in it. That's the beauty of reality TV as a fan. You're always saying, well, if I was in there, I'd do this. And you never know because it's different. But I always think on the rogue vote, it's the first person that says, who did the rogue vote is the person who did the rogue vote every time, every time.
Right. 100%. You're right. We all knew it was Jackson
Of
and
course.
right away.
He was the first person to speak up and say, who did
Right.
that? And it's like,
But
well, you
like,
did.
okay. Are we gonna pretend that we don't know, or
Yeah.
what are we supposed to do right now? Like, because he was on our team, he threw a rogue vote, and we're like, okay, do we pretend like we don't know it's you, our teammate, or do we just call you out for what
Yeah.
we see it is?
Yeah. Yeah. When
Funny.
you were head of household, I mean, how did you come up with who you were targeting and all that?
So I my game was to be good with everyone. I wanted to target people who were playing similar games to me. And I felt like that was Kat, Cliff, and Sam. The
Yeah.
three of them were the fun ones in the house. Everyone loved them, got along with them. That's the spot that I wanted. So those three were my biggest competitors, I felt. As long as and then once Sam got voted out, then I was like, oh, good, that's one of my targets. He's out. So then I targeted Kat and Cliff when I got HOH. I felt like each of them, if you stepped back and looked at the house as a big picture, um, each of them, or that they were good with everyone individually, like
Yeah.
they had small groups of people, but they were attached to everyone. So I felt that by targeting Kat, I was weakening everyone in a
Smart.
sense, because I was
Yeah.
getting rid of a number for Holly and Jackson. She was really close with Jess, Nicole, and Cliff. There was Cliff's Angels. That was
Right.
she was really close with Christy. Actually, she was really close
Really.
with Nick. She was only not close with me and Sis. Kat was close with everybody else. So
That's an
by getting
obvious
rid of
thing.
her,
Yeah.
yeah. So by getting rid of her, I was weakening everyone else. Is the way I thought of it.
Smart. And you got if I remember right, didn't you win the POV? Yeah. I
I
thought you
won
did.
the POV twice, and
But it was during your head of household. Didn't you win it during your head of household, or am I dreaming that?
yes. No,
I
I
thought.
think so. I think I did. I can't remember right now. Wow,
Yeah.
2 years.
Isn't that
Hard to
something?
forget.
Two
It's so
years.
crazy. Like with Big Brother, you have to remember the days, what goes on specifically in each day.
I know.
And for the longest time afterward, I remembered them still, but they're starting to go now. Now I'm starting to forget what day 61 was. All these
Yeah, and that's
things.
probably good. That's probably good. Let
It's
the
probably good.
yeah. I wonder how your boyfriend's. I mean, we're just at the beginning of Big Brother for
I'll,
the summer.
I warned him. I warned him. I said,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just warning you, it's going to be something different. You've never seen anything like this. But literally, I'm up at 5 a.m. on the phone looking at the tweets, the Joker's updates, whatever. It's BB updates. It's crazy.
Would
It's
you go back in for if they called? Okay, yeah, of course.
heartbeat.
Would you do
It's
the circle? Would you do the circle?
Yes, I would love to do the circle. It's so funny though. Like I felt like going into Big Brother, I knew what my strategy was. I knew what I wanted to do. And to some extent, I followed that
Executed.
idea that
Yeah.
like I executed what I wanted to do. Even though it didn't lead to a win, I kept my strategy from it was the same strategy that I thought I was going to do going into the house. Thinking about the idea of going into the circle one day, I have no idea what my strategy would be. I don't know how do you like strategically plan how everything is going to go with other people. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
it's really like a lot of luck, I feel like.
It is luck, but there's a lot of chats that don't get aired. So you're, yeah, I kind of had the same strategy as you. I wanted to be in the middle. That was
Yeah.
my big thing. I did not want to be an influencer on the get go because, I
Yep.
mean, look at Tara Alicia and Savannah. What happened?
Yep.
Boom, boom.
Yep.
And I wanted to be friends with everybody and but I think like Big Brother, things start happening organically. People
Yeah.
begin to form these alliances organically, and like you said, you couldn't break up Cliff or Jackson, no matter what you did. So
Yeah.
then you kind of adjust your strategy. You would be amazing at it. Please, would you do a catfish? I mean, I almost think you'd have to because you're a known.
I know, but like, I feel like why, I don't know. Honestly, I think I would be myself.
Yeah,
It's so difficult for me to pretend to be somebody. I'm just like, I'm the kind of person I feel like even my family, we pride ourselves on being authentic, on being real. I
yeah,
think that was ingrained in me from a young age. Like that's something that my family really believes in wholeheartedly.
right.
All, I have a huge Italian family, and all of us are very just like loud, in your face, real. And I feel like it would be so difficult for me to not be myself. I don't know if I could do it, honestly. I don't know how you did it. Well, you said it's because it was a younger version of yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't realize that because I'm a writer, so I created a character. I thought, but then I started looking at the background because I had pages and pages of who he was, and as it kind of into the game, I pretty early on I went, oh my gosh, this is me because it was my history, and so I didn't even realize it was all subconscious. I say, I don't remember thinking that because I had three different catfish I wanted to do because I was afraid of ageism. I thought I come in as this old guy, it's an easy target. That's what I thought. Now I think an older person could come in there and do okay as
Yeah.
themselves. I think they would be all right, but oh my gosh, that'd be so cool. What would be cool is
Right.
going in as a duo on the circle, and that would be fun. That would be really fun. We
It would
could
be so great.
we would
I would
crush them.
love that.
Yeah, we'd
You
crush
do
them. We'd
so well. Both of us together, our brains together, we would kill it.
we would crush and we'd go all the way. um well, let's see, what else was I gonna, okay, we covered, oh, talk about what's going on. Are you doing Broadway still? I mean, is Broadway's opening up again? Yay,
Yeah,
yay, yay.
I hope so. The industry is extremely competitive, so we'll see what happens. I can only hope that I get to dance on Broadway again one day. I would love that.
Yeah,
I got to go back to auditioning. It's
yeah.
going to be tough, but I'm getting ready now. I'm in acting class, so
Oh, good.
I'll show you. Look at this.
Cool, what
So
do you,
this is what I do once a week. I memorize all of these. I take acting class. I memorize
wow,
all of these sides, and then tomorrow morning I'll wake up. I get them. I got those sides today. So now today I'll spend the rest of the day memorizing, and then
wow.
tomorrow morning I'll wake up and I'll have a scene partner and we'll do it over Zoom. So
Oh,
that's like
that's awesome.
just me getting ready to go back into it. Doing whatever it is, like acting class, dance class, singing lessons. I need to just dive back in, and then hopefully I can get a job.
If you're wondering what I was doing, I realized my computer wasn't plugged in, so I was about to die. I was like, "What? Oh my gosh, that's
Cut
awesome!"
off.
I know.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I'm real. I'm authentic. If
I love it.
whatever. It's what
Part
I'm doing.
two, yes.
Yeah, I was the most authentic catfish in circle history, I think.
I actually I completely agree with that. You definitely were. And I think that's what separated you from the rest. That's why you did so well.
Yeah,
Um, you played an amazing game. Like I really feel like you were extremely moving and inspiring. Like I don't know if it can't just be me, but for me personally, you really were extremely inspiring. The way you played the game, the way you represented our community.
oh man,
I
thank you
was
so
really,
much.
really moved. I really was. It was incredible to watch you and to see you come off and what you're doing. I can't say it enough.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I feel very honored to have to have been on the show and to be afforded this platform. Thank you, Netflix. But I really thought I'd get some followers. I had no idea I'd get as many as I did so quickly. Um, but I feel, like I try to, if somebody messages me, I read all my messages. I spend
Yeah,
hours reading them, and
right,
I answer the ones that I feel like I need to answer.
yeah,
But I feel it's important, if this, granted, good things happen. I'm getting good things because of it. But at the
yeah,
end of the day, it's about those fans because they touch me. I got a thing. I'll just tell you. I got a message from a guy. This young girl, 10 years old, just found out she has leukemia. Well, I mean, I stopped everything. I was like, I'm gonna. She wanted to hear a message from me, so I try to. That means something to me. I mean, and I try. I'm not, like you said, not an expert, not a professional, but I can at least touch, touch back and say, hey, I have you in my heart, my prayers, and that's what I think is important. And if I can move the needle one little bit to help somebody, please, that's what I'm going to do. You
yep.
know,
Well,
and
I
I
feel
think
like I want to know so much about you, but I don't know if I can ask you questions that you've already probably answered on your other episodes that
ask.
people already know about you. But I want to know, like, you and Steven met at a bar. Tell me about that. Like, how did even the circle? Like, what was your experience like? Like going, like the audition experience. How, like, was there like an what made you want to go for it? Writing. I want to know everything.
Okay. Well, we're gonna meet in real life because I'll be in New York and we'll meet in real life. I'll hopefully can. Stephen loves New York. We love New York. We got married in New York,
No
actually.
way.
Yeah,
That's
on the steps of the New York Public Library. Yeah, between I'll tell you. This is a funny story. This will be new for everybody. So we went to New York. I was doing a conference, and Stephen is the opposite of me. I'm romantic. Let's make a big grand gesture. And he's like, we've been together forever. We just need a piece of paper. I said, okay, I'll meet you halfway. We'll do it in New York, do it on the steps of the New York Public Library. And, so we had a few people. My mom was there and whatever, but just a handful of people. But in New York fashion, so we're standing on the steps, and this homeless guy goes, "Oh, how sweet, how wonderful." And then and she started doing the thing, and then he starts cussing us out.
no way.
And the minister said, "You've been blessed by a New Yorker."
Oh my God, I love that. That is so funny.
It was amazing. It was
Just while you're
amazing.
getting married. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
welcome to New York. How sweet. Blah blah blah. And just switch. Bless his heart. But and she handled it so well. She was a New Yorker, minister, and said, "You've been blessed by a New Yorker." I go, yay.
Love that. That's
Yeah.
so funny.
My
How
favorite.
often do you get to go to New York?
What's that?
How often do you get to go to New York? I mean, not
Um,
post pandemic or
Yeah, yeah.
before.
We try to go at least every couple years. We love New York so much. It's probably, absolutely one of my favorite cities. I love Los Angeles too, in a completely different kind of vibe. But
Yeah,
New York feels very. People may think this is strange. It feels very intimate to me because people they're so easy to approach, and they'll
yeah,
tell you, and they're so honest. It's like I love the honesty. I actually like the brashness. All that kind of
yeah.
stuff. I love it.
I actually completely agree with you. I totally see what you're saying as far as New York feeling intimate. That makes total sense to me. I see it. You can approach people here. I feel like we're all in this together. And maybe that's just with COVID on my mind, like how the energy is in the city right now.
Yeah.
But it does feel like we're all in this together in a sense. And I love
What is Staten Island like? I have never been to Staten Island ever.
you. So many people haven't. Most of the people that usually the people that live on Staten Island are the only people that have been to Staten Island. So that's
Okay.
usually
Okay.
how it is. But Staten Island's amazing. It's literally, I'll show you. Look, I'm gonna turn my camera around. You're gonna see this is what my front yard looks like.
Wow. Beautiful.
It's just like
Gorgeous.
it's houses, it's a front lawn, it's trees. And that means a lot to me to have that. I live 5 minutes away from my family. They live on the same block as each other. We're all like one big community. We call it the compound. Um,
Nice.
so it's really nice to have that suburban family life. I think that Staten Island actually has the best food. I think it's even better than New York City.
Okay. I'm
So
coming. I mean, when I come, you got to take me for Italian. I love pasta. You got to take me
I'll
some.
tell you what we're gonna do. You're gonna come over for Sunday dinner. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh,
My mom will
really?
cook for you guys. Yeah,
Oh, that
that
would
would
be
be
so.
amazing.
Oh my
Sit
gosh.
with us. We all love reality TV. We all watch The Circle together. We watch Big Brother together. We watch The Bachelor, Bachelorette together. We watch it all. That's so we literally go on the couch on at my mom's house multiple nights a week and just watch reality TV together. So they all know who you are. They all love you. You have
Oh,
to come. You and Steven sit at the table. My mom will make you meatballs, pasta, whatever. Well, we
okay.
have
That's a date. That's for sure going to happen. For sure. I promise you. This.
is Dallas near Arlington?
Yes. Yeah.
I
Like.
think I might be coming in August. So I'll
Oh,
get you.
yes, absolutely. Do it. I would love to hang out. I'd love to do some stuff together and
Yeah.
show you the city. It'd be amazing. All right,
Yeah.
we better wrap it because I can go on and on and on. That's just the way
Me
I
too.
am.
We're just talking about us hanging out. No one wants to hear that.
Yeah,
Sorry, everyone.
nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Sorry, listeners.
Where can they find you? Where can they find you?
They could at Tommy Bracco is all the handles.
Okay.
So Instagram, Twitter. I think actually TikTok is Tommy_Bracco.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I haven't mastered the TikTok yet. I'm still
It
trying.
would be great. I
I'm
would. Oh
I'm
wait,
trying.
yeah. I feel like are you on there?
I've put some stuff out.
I remember. Yes.
I don't know if
Your
it's good or
drawings.
bad. I think I'm following you. I think I'm following you on everything. I think
You posted your drawings at some point.
I
I
did.
followed you. Yeah, I
I did.
remember.
I did. I
Oh,
did. I don't understand. I don't understand 7 to 15 seconds of video. I mean, there's geniuses on there,
I know.
and they're 15 years old. you
I
know,
know. It's insane.
it's
You know
amazing.
who kills it on there? Savannah.
Savannah kills it.
Oh my
She's
gosh. I
amazing.
think I love following her. She's amazing.
Yeah. Have
She's
you met
so
her yet? Have you met her?
no, but I need to meet her. I'm obsessed with her. I love her.
We will set that up. We talk pretty frequently.
I
Oh,
love her.
before we go, that's all your handles.
Yes.
We'll end on this. Who do you stay in touch with? I saw you with Holly, Nicole, Annalise. Who else? Who else?
I mostly stay in touch with almost everyone.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, there's a few that I don't. It was a listen. Big Brother is you're not meant to get along. They hand
Right.
select you
Yeah.
because you're gonna fight, because you're not gonna like each other.
Right.
So there's a few people that I can't. I wish that the line of communication was open, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's not my doing, to be honest with you.
Well, and
But it's
you,
okay. It
yeah,
is what it is.
friends
It's
for
okay.
a season. That's
Yeah.
okay.
But I'll end it on a positive note. I really do keep in touch with almost everyone, and I
Amazing.
love all of them so much.
I loved seeing
Yeah.
you guys all together. That was fun.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It's
You know.
cool. Like we our cast had a lot of controversy. We caught a lot of heat, understandably so. But we are one of the closest casts to come out of the show. A lot of us hang out, talk frequently, get together often. So I think Christy made a status on one of her captions. She made a caption on one of her photos. Say what you want about BB21, but we love each other. We are a big family, and that so many of us are so close, and that's the greatest thing to come out of Big Brother.
I'll say a positive. I think BB21 helped move the needle.
I think so too. I
and
said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think if it hadn't happened the way it happened,
Yep.
the controversy we're talking about,
Yep.
I don't think it really shined a bright light of what needed to
Yes.
change. And I think
Yes.
it's a positive thing. I really do,
I said
and
the
so-
same thing. I literally was talking about that with Holly a couple of days ago, how our cast, and also there was a segment that aired in terms of women getting a big, oh my gosh, I know we were going to wrap it up. I'll make it quick.
It's
so
okay.
sorry.
We
So-
can keep talking after.
I
I
know.
mean, we can turn it off.
Yeah.
It's all good.
A big thing that would like a big topic of conversation in terms of the editing on Big Brother was that men get the reputation for being a mastermind, where women get the reputation of being a bitch when they do the same thing.
Exact same thing. Yeah.
The exact same thing. And we saw that Holly feels very strongly about that in terms of her storyline with Jackson. She feels like she was very much a part of these game moves, and her edit, she feels like, was just, it didn't showcase that at all. It was
She
all her.
got to number 2 for crying out loud.
Right.
And
She got to
Jackson would not have got to number 1 without Holly. So there you
no,
go.
she did a lot of the
Yeah.
work too.
Yeah,
She
I
did, but
agree.
you don't see that. And then we saw in BB22 All Stars, Tyler had a whole segment where he speaks about how Angela was steering the ship with his season or his original season, but she didn't get the credit for it. So I think between those two, I think the controversy that happened on BB21, the conversations that were happening on BB22 that Tyler shed light on, I think that we're seeing a different era of Big Brother because of what happened on the previous seasons.
So happy.
So I think it's exciting in that sense.
Yeah.
I'm happy for that.
One last question, because I have to. Would you go on
Yes.
Survivor?
I would do anything because I'm a yes man. I just want experience. I don't care. Like, I love experiences. I'm never going to say no to anything. I would love to do all of the above.
All right. All right, CBS. He wants to be on Survivor. Netflix, he and I want to do The Circle. Done.
We're going to be a duo.
Yeah.
The best gay duo ever.
That's right. Thanks, Tommy. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, Lee. Thank you to all the listeners. Thank you, Lee, your family. I love you guys all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe, comment, and like.